Duke Eclipse presents the Horror Hideout Podcast, a podcast covering everything horror, including books, comics, and movies. Presented by Dawson Duke and Kayla Bullock.
Welcome back to the Horror Hideout Podcast during our month of disaster movies. Yes. So far we have done Day After Tomorrow, and last week we did Geostorm, and this week we're doing Into the Storm, which was on the same 2 DVD collection. It was just 2 movies on the same DVD as Geostorm. And I like this one a lot better than I like Geostorm, but it's still not, I would not say it's like a great movie or anything. But
this one has some comedic elements that I thought were good.
yes.
Like, it doesn't...
I think this movie knew what it was and did not take itself too seriously.
That's what I was going to say. It didn't take itself too seriously. So
we haven't covered it on the podcast, but I feel the same way about this one that I do about Ozark Sharks, where
which we will be doing.
Yes, where it knows what it is and it plays into that and it goes over the top, and I love it so much.
So before
I don't like this one nearly as much as I like Ozark Sharks.
So one thing I'm going to start doing, which we kind of jump around and do, but I think we should just go through casting characters first.
Yeah.
So the whole focus of this movie is about, spoiler-free review, is, it's a team of storm chasers who are trying to make a documentary, but they can't get the shots they need for a tornado. A tornado.
It's pretty much a Twister ripoff.
Yeah. So our main person on the tornado team is Gary, and he's played by Richard Armitage. And then we have Allison, and she's, I guess, the meteorologist would be the best way to describe her.
Yeah. They say she's got degrees. I don't know if he was just saying that because she has a degree, if she actually has multiple degrees.
I think they say at one point she's got like a master's or something.
Okay.
I don't know. But she's played by Sarah Wayne Callens. And then we have Pete. He's another member of the team. He's played by Matt Walsh. Then we also have, our focus is on a town called Silverthorne. And we have brothers, Donnie and Trey. And Donnie is played by Max Deacon, and Trey is played by Nathan Kress. And then we have Caitlin, who is played by Alicia Debnam Carey, and she's friends with Donnie. And then Arlen Erskapeta plays Daryl. He's on the Storm Chaser team. And then we have Jeremy Supter, who is Luke Jacob, and he's on the Storm Chaser team. And then we have Donk, who is played by Kyle Davis, and then Revis, who is played by John Reap. And they are, if you've ever seen Supernatural, they're kind of like the ghost facers of storm chasing.
And they're very, like, hicklbilly, as we say on this podcast.
Yeah. This is a hicklbilly version of Twister.
Yeah.
So, I wanted to start doing that just to kind of give...
No, I know. I like it.
So,
Did you talk about the dad and the 2 sons?
I talked about the 2 sons.
Okay.
I didn't mention the dad.
So, I know the one son, what's his name? Trey.
Yeah.
As Freddy from iCarly.
Yeah. And he has a camera throughout this whole movie, and that's something somebody, like, in the comments, I was looking at made the comment about him always having a camera with him.
Yeah. And I will say, that was one thing, like, while we're still in the spoiler-free territory, that was one thing that I thought was kind of weird about this movie. It felt like it almost wanted to be found footage.
It is touted as a found footage movie.
But it's not entirely found footage.
It's not.
Because there's certain scenes that are not found footage.
So, just
and that bothered me.
And I don't know if you said this, it was 2014. There's actually a couple different movies with the same name.
Okay.
This one is 2014.
Okay.
I
don't think I did say that.
So, I understand what you're saying. I get what you're saying.
I think they could have kept it all found footage.
There's a movie called, like, Volcano, and the tagline is, "The coast is toast." Sorry, guys, I'm on IMDb.
But I think the thing could have been entirely found footage. I don't think it needed the shots that weren't. Like one of the shots that is it...
the impression, like, at the end of the movie when we see, what's her name? The girl sitting with her daughter.
Allison.
Allison sitting with her daughter. She talks like they made a movie about
Yes.
this adventure. So I took it as it was additional footage they kind of added in.
From what?
To make it a movie.
Where
You
did
know
they get
what I
the
mean?
footage?
I think like recreation is where my mind went.
But like
I
the
don't
school,
know.
but
I
like
don't
this,
know. Well,
one of the shots is at the school where it's like up in the sky and stuff. And they were already using security cameras from the school, so why did you not just use like a security camera from the outside of the school? Like I just felt like it was unnecessary to have the like if you're gonna be a found footage film, go all in.
Yeah.
And
Which I personally think it was not. It's a good thing because I don't like found footage
I know
films.
you don't.
Only because I shouldn't say I don't like them. I have a hard time with them because of the shakiness of the handheld camera. Which this one wasn't as bad because they were more like
professional cameras.
Yeah, like it's not like Blair Witch where they're running through the woods and the camera's shaking. They were more professional cameras. So
But anyway, so we're gonna move out of spoiler territory and actually break down the movie now. And so the movie starts with kind of a cold open that I felt like was completely unnecessary and unrelated to the rest of the movie. Do you remember the cold open?
No.
It's a group of random teenagers that get killed in a tornado.
Oh yeah.
And it's like it's not connected to the rest of the movie. I don't think it's ever mentioned again.
It is because that's the tornado that they missed. So Pete is the head guy of the tornado chasing team, and he is mad at Allison because they missed that tornado.
Yeah.
That's where the tie-in comes in. I know it's a stretch, but they went, judging by her models, they went to the wrong town, and they were like 100 miles away from that tornado, and they missed it.
I still think that scene did not need to be in there.
I'm not saying it did. I'm just saying they did.
It was just there to up the kill count and start the movie out with like a wow, right in your face kill.
And but I do think that was the reason they did it.
Yeah. Which this movie is really not that violent of a movie.
No.
When it comes to like gore or anything.
No. And I don't really have too much of this movie to pick apart. It just was not. There's not a whole lot of substance to it, I guess.
No. It was kind of. It was like we said that Geostorm needed streamlined. This was just a very streamlined movie.
Yeah. Which is good.
Yeah.
I mean, I like that. It stayed very much. And it's another one where we have, because we've got.
We're following multiple groups, but I thought this did a lot better job of balancing it.
Right.
Which is crazy because this is like.
They end up meeting. Like,
yes.
Like their storylines converge and it makes sense. Except for the teenagers at the beginning, which they were just stupid. But.
Yeah. So we first meet the storm chasers when they're like at a gas station gassing up.
Yeah.
And
we have,
what
do they call their vehicle?
The tank.
The tank. Is that right?
They say it's as strong as a tank.
He calls it something. Anyway, and then they also have the van that follows along behind him. We learn that the tank has these things that come out on the side and it
which are in Twister.
Can withstand like 160 mile an hour
70.
winds. Okay, 170 mile per hour winds. And it has a thing on the top of it, kind of like a tank, but it has a camera in it that turns.
Yeah.
Which I thought was weird. He said it turns 360 degrees. Did you catch that?
Yeah.
Like, why wouldn't it turn 365?
Because 360 is a full circle.
Oh, I'm thinking days.
Yeah. Yeah.
I even thought that during the movie. I was like, why are we not doing 360? Wow, guys, it's been a really rough week. I apologize.
So we learn about that, and that's another thing that I wanted to say. I kind of I mentioned the whole team's here thing from Geostorm last week. I thought this did a lot better job of introducing the characters in a way that felt realistic.
Yeah. Because
we meet the storm chasers and they're kind of we're kind of getting introduced to them, but the way we're introduced to them is just for the documentary. We meet the Allison, and she's the meteorologist, and we meet the main storm chaser guy, and then we kind of see the cameraman. Yeah. I don't think they really introduce themselves, but we kind of figure out who they are as we go throughout.
Yeah. And we find out that, which I don't think this is now, but we find out that Jacob is new to the team, and he was brought on by the other cameraman, Paul.
Right.
And so Jacob rides in the tank with Peter.
And Paul is with the meteorologist lady.
Peter, Paul, and Mary. Sorry. Woo. Guys, I've not had a lot of sleep lately, so I'm getting tired.
Allison.
Yeah, he rides with Allison, and then what's the guy's name?
That is her name, right? I'm not making that up.
Yeah. What's the guy's name that drives the van?
It's just Pete.
No, Pete drives the tank. No, Gary drives the tank.
Yeah.
And Pete drives the van. Okay.
And Pete's also a cameraman.
So Gary is our main tornado chaser.
Yes.
I said the wrong name earlier. So then we meet Donnie and his brother Trey.
And their dad.
And I don't remember Dad's name.
I don't either.
But he's a single dad. Mom
died
in a car accident, which we don't find out till later.
After they were already divorced.
Okay, well, anyway, this is our spoiler review,
Yeah,
so we don't have to talk about everything out of order, but so we do find out that she died in a car accident.
And she had left the family before that happened.
Yes. But the boys still visited her on weekends.
But doesn't he say that he like blamed his dad for it? Yeah.
And their dad's just not, like, he's not attentive. He doesn't really want anything to do with the boys. And he seems like vice principal at their
I don't
school.
know. He works at the school.
He's vice principal because the one guy is principal.
Yeah.
But anyway, so the first scene we see with them is we learn that he is wanting the boys to make a time capsule for 20 years in the future.
I think it's 25.
25 years in the future. And that graduation is happening that day.
Yeah.
Which was weird to me that it was graduation day, but they were still having regular school.
I was going to say, I don't know if they were having regular school.
It sure looked like it when he's talking to the girl, Katie.
They were in the library at the school. And she went to she told her parents she was going to the library. So I wonder if people were there.
No, that was the next day she told people she was going to the library. Or after school, because they meet to do the...
But she was in the school library.
I don't know. It's just weird because there was a lot of kids in the school and stuff.
I wonder if they were prepping for graduation day, though.
I don't know. That's not how graduation works around here, but...
No.
I don't know. But anyway...
But do we find out how small that town is? Because maybe it's even smaller than our town.
I'd say, judging by graduation class, it's probably about the same. No, it's probably smaller. Anyway...
I mean, my graduating class was 67.
Mine was 90. I graduated 8th out of 90. 86. I used to know. I don't know.
Well, in my class too was one of the smaller classes. Yeah.
So anyway, I do think that was kind of odd that there were so many people at school.
I agree.
If it had been later in the day, like an hour or two before graduation, they were getting ready for graduation.
I thought that's what they were implying.
And I thought it was weird, too, that the gym wasn't big enough to have graduation in for that many. There wasn't that many people there. I mean, there were.
Did they say that?
Yeah, that's why they have to have it outside.
I thought they were just having it outside.
No, because they're talking about the storm that's coming, and he says, well, we don't have room anywhere in the school, even the gym's not big enough.
Okay, well.
To have graduation, and I'm like, your gym must be, for mice.
Well, at the school in our town, there's the smaller gym and then the bigger, newer gym. I don't know if you could do graduation in that smaller gym.
I think you could. Look at the concerts and stuff, how many people they have.
In the small gym?
Yeah.
I'm not talking about the junior high. I'm talking about the small gym at the high school.
Where's the small gym?
Behind the big gym.
Oh, see, I thought I was thinking. I didn't realize the high school still had 2 gyms.
Yeah.
So, I don't know, but... So, yes, they're having graduation, but they have to do it outside because they don't have room for everybody in the school.
Yeah. And so, basically, I'm kind of skipping stuff here, but I don't know how much there is to say. But, they end up going to school, but, Donnie ends up riding his bike because he's kind of mad at his dad.
Yeah, because he's trying to talk to his dad. His dad wants them to do the time capsule.
Yes.
And he's trying to get his dad to talk on the video, and his dad just kind of blows him off.
Yeah. And he says, why do you always either ignore me?
Is his vehicle.
Okay. But, he's like... Donnie's like, well, Dad, it seems like you either ignore me or you're on my butt about something. If it's not my room, it's my grades.
Yeah.
So... He's just kind of mad at the dad, so he rides his bike to school. But when he gets to school, he meets up with Trey.
Yeah.
And they're recording in the parking lot. And I think they're recording Trey's like, message to himself in the future. And he's also kind of a butthead.
Yeah.
To start out with. But, they get his message recorded, but while they're standing there talking about it, the girl that, Donnie likes is over being talked to by a teacher, and the teacher is telling her that her paper is due this weekend.
She was supposed to do a video submission for college.
Yeah. And if it's due by that weekend, so I'm assuming it's like a Friday or something, or a Saturday. Yeah. And so, like, she has to get it done, like, same day, pretty much. And, so
Trey is encouraging Donnie to go talk to her and see what happened.
So Trey talks to her in the library, and he ends up skipping out on graduation, even though it'll make his dad mad, to help her with her project. And says, well, Trey can just cover me at graduation.
Because she had done the filming at an old plant.
Yeah,
in town.
It's an old paper mill that's full of chemicals.
And her file got corrupted, so he's like, well, I can help you reshoot it.
Yeah.
Like, we'll go, after school.
She tried to submit the file and it was corrupted.
Yeah.
Which, they don't really say how she got the footage onto her laptop. But, if she got it, like, off of, like, a camera or something, she would still have a copy, would she not?
Maybe I don't know if they ever say she submitted it and it was corrupted, or if she, like, maybe when she took it off the camera it was corrupted.
I don't know.
I don't either.
But, so, basically, both of them are skipping out on graduation to go do that.
Which is funny, because Trey is recording this whole interaction, and when he says that his brother can record graduation, his brother's like, no, I'm not, like...
Yeah, you can hear him talking. And, again... I wish this had just been like a full found footage movie. Like, if you're gonna go with it, go all the way.
Yeah. I mean, they had enough cameras in the movie to be able to do that.
I know, because they have the security cameras in the school, they have them recording for the thing, and, like, one thing that people talk about...
Revis have cameras for their YouTube channel.
And so
we haven't even introduced them to you yet.
But one thing that people always talk about in found footage movie is like, well, why are they still filming? Well, in this movie, they're filming a documentary.
Right.
And there's a couple times where the dad tells Trey to stop filming, but he doesn't. And, I mean, that makes sense. He's like a teenager, and this crazy crap is happening, and he's trying to get it on video. Like,
well, at one point, Gary tells him, you keep recording on video for $3,000 for it. So, so, yeah.
Which I don't know if realistically that kind of camcorder would last that long, because I had a camcorder, and its battery life would not last a whole long time.
I don't know.
Because I think mine would last, like, a couple hours at most.
Yeah. I'm not sure.
So do you want to talk about...
We go back to the team.
Well, do you want to talk about the YouTubers?
I will, in a minute.
Okay.
So Gary tries to be, and I think his character was meant to be this tough, hard, kind of tough boss guy. Like, I didn't like his character.
Do you remember when we covered, that one story collection for Halloween that was low budget?
Mm-hmm. Tales of Halloween? Not Tales of Halloween.
Tales.
Uh-huh. I know what you're talking about. Yeah, what about it?
In that episode, we talked about how there was one segment where that girl, like, nothing happened in it, but there was that girl in that troll bridge and all that.
Yeah.
And she stopped and talked to that guy, and that guy just felt like Santa Claus.
Yeah.
That's what this character felt like. That's what Gary felt like. He felt like a nice guy that was pretending to be mean.
I think so, too. And I had issues with that, because it just didn't come across as, him being a jerk.
Yeah. He... When we talked about that other movie, we said that guy kind of felt like grandfatherly or kind of like Santa Claus. He felt more like a dad.
Yeah.
Like...
Right.
I don't know. He did not give me vibes like he was actually getting on people's bad sides. Like, he was a little strict, but, like, he's the boss.
Yeah. Did you know that the girl who plays Allison was Lori in Walking Dead?
No, but I told you she looked familiar.
Yeah. And then, one of the other people was in Walking Dead. Fear the Walking Dead.
Mm.
Anyway, so when we go back to them... He's mad at Allison, and he's like, this is pretty much our... Like, I think he's on the phone, and whoever was doing their funding is telling him, you've got one last shot. And so she's like,
I thought he was telling them that they're pulling funding. Or is that not till later?
That's not till later. Because she tells them whatever the other town was, she's like, no, we need to go to Silverthorn.
Okay.
Is it Silverthorn?
I don't know.
I think that's right. This town where we've got all the other
Yeah.
people, the graduation, everything going on. He's like, well, all the other newscasters are, and, you know, tornado chasers are in this other town. And she's like, no, we need to go here. And they actually miss the tornado in the other town. And that is when they talk to the person. And he's like, we're pulling your funding.
Yeah. So, do you want to talk about the YouTubers now?
So we have Doink, Donk, and Revis. And they are the most hicklbilly YouTube guys.
And they're brothers.
We first meet them when they are filming a video, and Revis is filming and Donk is on a 4-wheeler, and he's going to ramp over this pool. And they decide that at the very last minute they're going to throw lighter fluid on the pool and set the pool on fire.
Yeah.
And so he takes off and he doesn't make it, and he breaks the side of the pool.
He goes up a wooden ramp and lands in the pool.
Yeah.
Which I think he comes off before the 4-wheeler hits the water.
I don't know. But, and so he busts the pool, and their mom comes out and is yelling at him, and they're getting ready to go do something, and they see the...
I don't think they're getting ready to do anything. They're arguing with the mom when that goes by.
Oh, okay.
And they recognize it, and they say, "Oh, I know that car from TV."
Yeah,
and they start running after it.
Titus. And the whole time they're like filming on the 4-wheeler, they're talking about their YouTube channel.
Yeah.
And so on the back of their truck, and it's a beat up old pickup truck, and on the back it says like
Twista Chasers.
Hunters, isn't it Twisted?
I think so.
Hunters?
But it's got like a Z instead of an S, and
Yeah.
Twista is like TWISTA.
Yeah.
And it's literally just like a wooden board attached to like the tailgate. Yeah.
Yeah. So ghost hunters or ghost facers
Yeah.
for tornado chasing. I really like those characters. I don't think if they hadn't been in the movie, I would have liked this one as well.
I mean, again, they're good comic relief that don't feel out of place.
Right.
Like, we know people around here that are like that.
Very much. The area we live in, you can walk in Walmart and see 50 of them.
What, and like, I used to sit next to a kid on the bus that used to tell me stories about stupid stuff he did like that with his brother.
That's funny. Who's that?
Oh, I'm not going to say names on the podcast.
That's true.
I'll tell you later. But, yeah, so they start chasing after them. So I think...
And I want to say, too, they're not young. They're not, like, your age. They look like they're probably, like, 30.
Yeah.
And they're still acting like 12-year-olds.
They kind of remind me of Tucker and Dale.
Yeah, I like Tucker and Dale, though.
Me
Have
too.
we done that movie yet?
Well, I like them and Tucker and Dale. No, we haven't. I don't think so.
I think
we did Cabin.
I think we did Tucker and Dale.
I don't think we did.
Anyway.
We may have talked about it in our favorites.
Oh, maybe that's what it was. So anyway, that's pretty much our cast of characters. We do find out that...
and do you know the girl's name? The girl that...
Allison has a daughter.
Who she calls Bug all the time. But did you pick up on the girl that... What's-his-face likes name? Donnie?
Caitlin.
Okay. Because I could not remember. So do you want to...
Yeah, Caitlin. I talk.
So... We just switch back to the Storm Chasers, don't we?
Yeah.
For a bit. The actual ones, not the...
And I think I kind of touched on that because this is where they missed the tornado.
Yes. So, is this when we find out they forgot the batteries for the camera? So, they're all set to record and stuff, and she's like, oh, the wind's picking up and stuff. And then they realize that Jacob...
I think it was Jacob.
Forgot, like, half the batteries charging back at the hotel.
Yeah.
So they return to the hotel to get the batteries, and then while they're there, she sees that...
And
do they see the tornado go to the left first?
No.
Okay.
Because Gary tells her when they're at the hotel, he's like, you're staying here, we're going to go see... Because he thinks they need to go to that other tornado. And he's like, you're not going anywhere with this is your fault.
Yes.
So
because she says the storm is dissipating, but then hail starts to come down.
Yeah.
And this is... When we were talking about Geostorm, I almost said this, and I said wrong movie near the end. It's because we were talking about laptops, And she uses her laptop to block the hail as she's running through. Did you notice that?
Yes, but it's also a very heavy-duty laptop if you looked at it. Like,
I
it
know.
was the thick...
I get that because we had a laptop like that when I worked at the library. Even so, I wouldn't want to damage
Well,
it.
I wouldn't either, but I did notice that.
Yeah. I thought that was kind of dumb. I do think it's funny because the cameraman, though, doesn't have any cover. And I think it's Paul. Because you don't see him because he's holding the camera. But I think it's Paul. But the whole time he's like, wait up, wait for me. Like, as she's running through this hail. And then when he gets out in the hail, he's like, oh, crap. Like, oh, like...
Yeah.
And, like, I think he even almost, like, wobbles into the pool a little bit whenever a piece hits him.
So, yeah. That was funny.
Which, that's another thing I noticed. The like, place they're staying looks like a very, like, kind of run down, like, motel. Like, it doesn't look like a nice hotel.
Yeah. And so she gets back in the van and figures out that the storm is coming back together and where they need to go to see it.
So they start heading that direction, and they get passed by a big red pickup truck with two hicklebillys in it. And do you want to talk about them because I know you like them?
Go ahead.
You can.
No, go ahead. You like them too.
So they pull ahead and they're like recording out the window. I think not the one that's driving, but the other one is like leaning out the window and has like a camcorder or something.
So.
Or no, it's like a little.
Yeah, it's kind of like their phone.
Yeah,
like,
but I don't think it's a phone.
So
I think it's like a camera.
It's like a GoPro type thing.
No, because it's like long.
I don't know. I thought it was a phone.
It might be a phone.
But, so Revis is driving and Donk is in the passenger seat.
So, is Revis the one that has the GoPro on his head? One of them has a GoPro on their head, and the other one has like a hand, like something he's holding in his hand that may be a phone. And recording.
Yes. Yes, because of the end, yes.
Okay.
I can tell you who's who, yes.
I see, and I could not tell you who was who. So, they're like driving up by the tornado and stuff, and they end up, I think they drive off the road into like a field.
Yeah.
And
Donk's like out there dancing with this tornado in the background.
And he's like, I'm in it. I'm in a tornado.
They're just stupid.
Yeah.
But in the best way. Like,
but they're funny.
Like we talked about Geostorm being a stupid movie.
Yeah.
This is stupid, but in a good way.
That's what I was trying to say at the beginning of this, though. That's Geostorm was a bad movie because it felt so bloated and it felt like nothing happened. And, like, yes, there were some good ideas, but it tried too hard to play it straight and have too many plot lines going on. This movie has a few plot lines going on, but it finishes them up in a successful way, and it knows what it is.
Right.
It knows it's not a high-budget movie.
Right.
It does what it does, and it does what it does well.
And I think that's okay. I really
I
do.
agree.
I think that it took a serious topic and it doesn't take itself serious. It doesn't take it seriously, and that's okay. But it's
and
also
not to say there aren't serious moments in the movie.
Also not to say it's like, I don't know, like what's a really stupid movie? Like the kind of humor I wouldn't.
Like Dumb and Dumber.
Yeah, well, I kind of like Dumb and Dumber, but something like that where it's just,
like Step Brothers.
Yeah, there you go. Like completely ridiculous, over the top. Like you kind of got some people in this movie you're rooting for.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's, again, like with Geostorm, you were talking about, it couldn't decide what it wanted to be, but this one has the comedy, it has the action, it has the suspense.
And it balances it, and it knows what it wants to be. And this movie
it's cohesive.
This movie's only 89 minutes long. So it doesn't, like, overstay its welcome in any way. Right. Like, Geostorm felt like such a slog to get through, and it was so long. And this one does not feel like that. Like, it's kind of snappy, it does what it wants to do, it doesn't really have a whole lot of fluff. And, like, the characters, it still feels like there's some, like, character development and focus on characters without...
And even though we have different kind of subplot lines, it keeps the story going, and there's never really a dull moment. Like you said, even the character introductions are cool because they're done through the camera, so it's not... Even the boys, when we meet the boys and the dad...
I was going to say, and not only the boys, too, but we also just kind of meet some, like, random people around town that we kind of see what happened to them later.
Yeah.
And...
Because, like, there's the old guy with his dog that Trey interviews. Or Donnie.
I think it's Trey.
Interviews him. About a message for the future.
And then we see what happened to him later.
Yeah, so, I mean, it just kind of... I mean, it kind of puts you in the mind of our small town, where everybody knows everybody else, and, you'd pitch in and help your neighbors if you needed to, and... so I really liked it. I mean, top 10 movie, never. But one I don't know if I'd ever watch it. I might watch it again.
I'd recommend it to people.
Yeah.
For sure.
Watch it again.
It does it does very well at capturing the feeling of living in a small town.
Yeah, for sure.
And like something like this happening.
Right, for sure. Which they don't get too much into the aftermath of it.
But they kind of touch on it.
But they do. I did see that some of the footage. I know at the very end, when it has like the destruction, that is actual footage from the Joplin, Missouri tornado, and at some other point in the movie, it's actual footage from the tornado.
That makes sense.
Yeah, so.
Shark movies do that a lot too, where they'll use like stock footage of sharks and stuff.
Yeah, and I mean, even with the comic relief guys, like it's not.
It doesn't take the subject matter lightly necessarily.
That's what I was trying to. Thank you. That's what I was trying to say. Like it's not like making fun of tornadoes or towns that go through that or people that go through that. Like it's serious enough, but you need that little bit of comedic break.
Like, because some people die. Like, people do die. It's not just like...
Yeah. Okay. So, we've got Donk and Revis in the field.
Yes.
And...
They batten down their hatches on the road. They put out their little... What was it called?
Titan.
The Titan. And
Titus.
it put... Titus. It's Titus. It puts out its little arms and digs them into the ground because the tornado's coming right towards them. So I think the van just stays a ways back.
Yeah.
Well, when it's getting close to them, all of a sudden it switches and goes to the left.
So the whole point... Titus. It is Titus. So the whole point of what he is trying to do is Gary wants to be inside of a tornado.
He says he wants to see...
Gary's his name and it's not Peter?
I have no idea.
I thought maybe Gary's the dad.
But he says that he wants to see what only God has seen, the eye of a tornado.
Right.
Which is what the 360 camera up top is for.
Yes. Not 365.
I mean, it would go 365. But, so they anchor down, the tornado turns, and they're kind of, I think he kind of gets a little bit snippy with the girl about it, Allison. Because he's like, you told me it was heading this way.
Which it was, and then it turned.
Yeah. So I think they try to reposition themselves in front of it. By the time they get anywhere, though, it dissipates.
Okay. Gary is the boy's dad.
Okay.
Peter is the main guy.
Okay. I don't like Peter.
So anytime I've said Gary earlier, I was probably talking about Peter.
Same here. So, they go to chase it, right? But then it dissipates before they can get anywhere.
And I kept thinking, where we live, like they have moved Tornado Alley, and I think we mentioned this before on the podcast. Like we're kind of in the middle of Tornado Alley now, and my husband didn't watch this one with me. He wasn't home when I watched it, and I was kind of sitting there thinking, tornadoes freak him out so bad. Like the thought of a tornado freaks him out so bad. I'm sitting there watching this movie, and I'm like, thank God that we watched Geostorm together, and not this one, because he probably wouldn't have slept that night. I mean, it was... Not that it's, like, the greatest tornado movie ever, but, I mean, graphically, it was pretty cool.
I would say, in all honesty, it's probably scarier than Twister.
I haven't seen Twister in so long, I don't remember.
The only reason I say that is because so much of Twister is focused on... Which this movie kind of is, too. But so much of Twister is more focused on, like, the storm chasing aspect.
Yeah.
I feel like this has more scenes. I mean, not that Twister doesn't have scenes where people are, like, getting taken up and stuff. Right. But I don't know. I feel like overall this movie just had more...
Well, we have the dad and their boys and, like, more, more focus on...
And it kind of focuses on the local community and stuff.
Right. Yeah. So where were we at in the movie?
The storm dissipated.
Okay. So... She's like, I don't know what happened, and he's like, you're fired. Well, then this is when whoever's funding them calls and asks if they got the footage, and he says no. And the guy on the other end's like, we're pulling your funding.
Yeah.
Which I kind of thought was a stretch, because if you're in the middle of a storm and there could possibly be another tornado, don't you think you'd wait and see what they got before you said no? You know what I mean?
Well, and if they're shooting...
timing was a little...
Yeah. If they're shooting documentary, I understand they probably want that shot inside the tornado, But if they've already dumped that much money into it, don't you think they try to recoup some cost from the footage he got instead of just firing him?
Well, and how would he know, like, the exact time, like, oh my gosh, that tornado just broke up? Like, you know
Yeah,
what I mean? Like, it
yeah.
was just. So, again, I'm not picking apart the movie, but, like, that part was just kind of a little odd because it
Yeah.
was just perfect.
Again, though,
I
I feel like,
understand in movies there has to be perfect
yeah.
timing, but.
Well, and like you talked about how like you think about that stuff in the podcast, but like normally that's not necessarily something you would think about.
Right.
I feel like this movie earned enough suspension of disbelief. I feel like this movie earned enough suspension of disbelief that didn't feel too out of place.
And again, I probably wouldn't have thought about it too hard
Yeah,
if we weren't
yeah.
doing it for the podcast. It was just something that I was like, that's,
Yeah.
you know. And again, I think it's pretty crappy that he called him and was like, hey, guess what? We're pulling your funding. The end.
Yeah. And I would think if I was the person funding, I would want to talk to the meteorologist first.
I would have wanted to.
I know he's supposed to be like the
Well,
leader,
and they
but
talked about that earlier. Like, she's not the meteorologist he wanted.
yeah.
He wanted somebody else. So.
He doesn't think she has the instincts for it, because
Right.
it's not just numbers, it's instinct.
Right. And she says it's numbers, not instinct.
Well, she says it's science.
Science.
I don't-
there you go.
I said numbers originally, but I don't know if that's the right term, or I have no idea how storm chasing works or how to track all that crap,
Right.
track weather.
So they are outside of Silverthorne. Graduation is starting. Donnie and Caitlin have went to the paper mill to record her video. He didn't tell his dad where he was going. So
Yeah.
Trey, they're setting up for graduation, and his dad's kind of mad that Trey is expected to do it, and there's 3 cameras.
And Trey kind of takes that as his dad doubting his capabilities. And it's
Right.
like, you don't trust me to run 3 cameras. That's why
Right.
they invented tripods.
And I like Trey. I like
Yeah.
his character. And I think for the guy that played him, like, Freddie was always so sweet
Yes.
and so nice. And to see kind of that teenage attitude
Yeah.
was a lot.
And he kind of had like the emo haircut kind of thing,
Yeah.
like, but no, that is one thing. Like we talked about Geostorm, it had like all these big actors in it that were in other stuff we had seen. This movie, like, it has Freddie in it, but
Yeah.
even then, I wouldn't necessarily say he's like a great actor because like,
Well, I think the guy that plays the dad is a pretty well known. Richard Armitage. I think he's pretty well known.
well, I just for this movie definitely had a way lower budget than Geostorm. I think I liked every single character in this movie other than the leader guy. What was his name?
Peter.
Peter. Yeah. Like, I feel like I
But
could
I'm not
relate.
sure you were supposed to like him.
I could not tell. I could not get a feel for. I did not know what was happening with him most of the time. Like, and I honestly did not care.
I didn't either.
I was more invested in like the teenage boy storyline than.
Yeah.
And I mean the meteorologist. I liked her,
Yeah.
and obviously
And
I
again,
liked
like the daughter storyline, like you talked about in Geostorm, like there wasn't really. I mean,
Yeah.
like she has a 5-year-old daughter, but she made the decision to take this job and to leave her daughter with her mom, and so there's not. I mean, I guess again pulling at people's emotions, like
Yeah.
she needs to get home to her daughter, but I just.
But see, I get what you're saying, and I do agree with you because I complained about that with Geostorm, but that thought didn't cross my mind with this one.
Really? See, I just kind of thought she was.
I don't know. I mean, I think it genuinely gave her a reason to stay. Because she
Oh,
needs
that's
the
true.
money to take care of her daughter.
That's true.
So I feel like she still had a reason. Like, in Hannah in Geostorm, he didn't need the money for her. He was working in Florida to, like, repair stuff or whatever. And so Hannah just, like, you could remove her from the movie and nothing would change. And I feel like that was showing us why Allison is staying, even though this guy is supposedly being really mean to her, when I don't think he was even being that
Oh, that's
mean.
true. Well, he was kind of a jerk. I mean,
He was kind of treating her as an outsider, but I don't know.
But he basically said on the phone he didn't want her there. And
That's
she heard
true.
him say that.
Yeah, I forgot she overheard him talking bad about her.
And basically he tells her she doesn't know how to do her job.
Yeah.
So, but I don't know. I do agree. I like this one a lot better than Geostorm. So.
But you are right. The daughter probably could have been, like, wasn't necessary for the movie, but
Yeah. But of all things to pick apart on the movie, we're not going to pick that one apart.
Well, and I also feel like it helped her relate to the dad whenever the dad wanted to go get the son. So that's kind of why she went with him.
Well, yeah, that's
So
true.
I do think it had a lot more weight in this movie than
Yeah.
Geostorm did.
That makes sense.
But where were we at in the actual movie plot?
Donnie and Caitlin has just got to the paper mill.
Yeah. So they kind of they start to record a little bit there. He calls her pretty, and then she, like, blushes about it, like, you know, like,
Yeah.
teenager puppy love crap.
You kind of get the impression that, like, he's kind of had a crush on her from afar, because when they first meet, he's like, I'm blah, 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 and she's like, yeah, I know, but, like, it's not like they were friends.
No.
It's kind of like he's
And
just
it doesn't really
always
seem like she necessarily was all that interested in him at first.
Right.
But kind of, like, I don't think she was, like, opposed to him either.
Right.
Because, like, when he calls her beautiful, she kind of blushes about it and kind of, like, gets flattered by it, so...
She kind of reminds me of the girl in Day After Tomorrow, where she's kind of oblivious to guys, but then, you know, like, kind of grows on her, I guess.
Yeah.
So, but,
She also...
So, then they figure...
She felt a little bit like a nothing character after the scene in the library. Like, she was always just kind of there.
But she was the reason he was trapped.
Yeah.
So...
I know. I still think she had plot relevance. I just feel like she could have had more of a voice in the movie.
Yeah.
Like, the only reason she gets saved is because she was trapped with him. Like, if she was trapped with anyone else...
That's true.
I don't know. I don't know.
So, they start recording, and then it's graduation, and the principal's up giving his speech, and it starts to rain.
Yeah, and everyone just kind of pulls out umbrellas, which I thought was kind of like a funny beat.
Well, they knew it was going to storm.
Yeah.
I mean, I get it. It
Yeah.
was kind of, but they did know, because he was worried. Gary was worried about a storm.
I just thought it was kind of funny because they bring out the umbrellas, and the one girl, like, snuggles up to her friend so that they can share an umbrella.
Which is exactly what high school girls
Yeah,
do.
yeah.
And it's very relatable. I could see your younger sister and her friends doing that.
Yeah. But, then...
Charlie's telling us her opinion, guys. Just ignore her in the background.
But the not president, the principal, kind of wraps up his speech early and has them all throw their hats.
Yeah.
And then right about that time, the tornado sirens go off.
Yeah.
So they load everyone into the school.
Which, if you're in a part, which I did not realize this until Day After Tomorrow, but there's parts of the country that don't really see tornadoes.
Yeah.
And I don't know, like, what an earthquake alarm sounds like.
Yeah.
Siren sounds like, I don't know. But here in the Midwest, our towns have tornado sirens.
Yes.
We live out in the country, so we don't
Yeah.
ever hear them. But in downtown, they have tornado sirens.
And they test them the first Tuesday every month. When I used to work at the library, you'd hear them go off every...
Yeah, and so they're very loud.
Yeah. It was like 10 a.m. every Tuesday.
Tuesday.
Yeah.
I always wonder what would happen if there was a tornado at Tuesday at 10 a.m. though. Because nobody would think anything of it because
I think this time we have tornadoes, it's in the evening time though.
Well, I know, but when I was younger, I always think about that. Like, well, what if it's really a tornado and nobody's taking it seriously?
Well, I don't know because they just test it, so it's once for a warning, twice for a spotting. So maybe they'll do it twice for a spotting to let people know there's actually a tornado on.
Yeah, but who's gonna really pay attention to that?
Like, I don't know.
Tuesday morning.
I do. I'm not necessarily on Tuesday mornings, but I would pay attention to that. Like because the library was a tornado shelter. Yeah. There's that hallway by the bathrooms, and that's like the tornado shelter in the library. But the library's considered a tornado shelter.
Cool.
But in this movie, the tornado shelter is the school. So everyone in town...
Which we're not telling you where you're at, and there's where we're at. There's a tornado. Go to the library.
Well, there was a I don't know if there was a tornado warning or an actual a watch or an actual warning, but there was a tornado when I was working at the library, and we had to go sit in that hallway with everyone. We had to gather everyone up in the library and say, "Hey, come."
When I worked at the grocery store in town, we would take people back in the meat coolers.
Well, actually, but
the dairy cooler because it wasn't frozen.
Before the wind was whipping so hard that we were afraid our flag was gonna blow away, so I went outside and got our flag from outside and brought it in. And your sister that I used to work with was like, "If you're gonna blow away, don't do that. I don't want you to get caught in the wind and get stuck out there."
It's because you're so dang skinny.
I know. Anyway, completely. I mean, kind of related, but kind of way off topic. Yeah. But so the school is a tornado shelter. So throughout the movie, people start like kind of coming to the school as the tornadoes start to touch down.
See, I didn't get that.
The principal says that later because they're trying to get him to leave.
The people that were there from graduation.
There's other people there.
Okay, I didn't catch that. But...
and so because there's a lot more people in the school than were at graduation.
I just thought it looked like a lot because of the hallway. They were in that hallway.
But because they tried to get him to leave, and he said, "No, this is the tornado. This is the tornado shelter."
Gotcha. Okay. The principal reminded me so much of Obama.
I thought that too. I genuinely
I
did.
did like a double take when he first started talking. I'm like, what? Obama was in a movie in, 2014? Is that what he said? It is not Obama in the movie, but
No.
it sure looked like him. Sounded like him, even.
No, I literally thought that when he first came out, like, Mr. President?
Right?
But,
Well, shoot, would he have been president in 2014?
yeah, because
He's like
his first election was...
So he's a movie star and president at the same time.
Yeah, because wasn't it... Trump was elected in 2016. So, yeah, because Obama was... 2008 was his first term, so his second term would have started in 2012.
Yeah, so 2009 to 2017 he
Yeah.
was actually president. So, yeah, he was an actor and president at the same time. Oh
Anyway, I'm glad you thought that too, though, because I was going to say that, but I didn't know if I was crazy. So anyway, they're hunkering down in the school, and they're doing that thing where they cover their heads. Does that actually do anything?
Shoot, when we were kids, they'd be like, hey, there's a tornado warning, go in the hallway, and we're having pizza for lunch.
Well, they have them, like, get down and, like, cover their heads, and I get to, like, protect your head from stuff, but I don't know if that would actually help in the event of something. I do think getting down like that helps your center of gravity be lower, so you won't get blown away as easy.
Yeah. I mean, and when we would do it, like, you'd go sit by the lockers, and if you're sitting up against the locker, it's probably going to have a hard time falling over. So I don't really know if, like, covering your head did anything, but that's what we were told to do.
Yeah, well, that's what we did in school, too, but I don't know if that would actually help anything. But, doesn't the tornado tear through part of the school?
Mm-hmm.
But not the part they're in. So it rips off, like, part of the front. I think one person gets sucked into it. Like, one guy gets sucked into it.
So they go in, like, a side set of doors.
Yeah.
And then the hallway that they're in, they go down a hallway. No, I'm thinking backward. Because Trey comes in last, because he's filming it. And the dad grabs Trey, and then somebody...
Because he films out the door, because a tree comes through the glass. And then he's filming through the glass, and he says, there's a tornado.
Yeah.
So then his dad kind of grabs him and pulls him away.
Right.
And the tornado... Is it the front of the school that the tornado rips off? I think it is.
I think so.
Because I think there's, like, a circular drive there, and it tears through there. But yeah, it ends up, like, sucking up one person. But then the dad is asking Trey, like, where is Donnie? And finally he ends up telling him. So the dad...
Not to interrupt you, but I was just looking to see what Mr. President has been in. Principal.
Yeah.
He's been in a lot of TV shows. Like, he's like an extra in a lot of TV shows.
I thought you were going to say you played Obama in something.
He might eventually, but he's not really been... He was in Cloverfield.
Like the
movie.
Yeah.
But like...
That's the first scary movie I ever saw.
Yeah.
It was not a great first scary movie.
He's been in... I don't like that one very well.
He's
been in a lot of TV shows, so, I mean, not really...
Not as, like, a recurring character, though. Kind of just, like, a side character.
Mr. Mercedes, he was in 9 episodes of it.
Oh, so...
Called Unbelievable, he was in 5 episodes, but pretty much everything else is, like, 1 episode here and there, but he looks so familiar. Because he looks like Mr. Obama. Anyway, sorry, guys, that was a total tangent about the president. Former president.
What was I? Where were we at?
The front of the school got ripped off.
Yeah. Which I think the storm chasers were trying to warn them somehow. But they didn't, like, really get to.
I don't think they were yet.
Okay.
Because remember later on when they go...
I know later on, but I thought they knew the tornado was heading towards the school here.
I don't think they did because this one came up so fast.
Okay.
Because I don't think they even realized, because this is when they're going through town, I think, and they see Donk and Revis,
okay.
right?
Do you want to talk about that? Yeah.
No. That's not yet, because this is the fire tornado. Because they have...
No, that's not yet.
I know, but they meet Revis and Donk, and then they go in the church, right? Aren't Revis and
No.
Donk with them when they go in the church?
No. They go in the bank. Remember, 2 tornadoes start to form. It starts to form over here, and then it stops, and it forms over here.
Yeah.
That's like in the city center.
But Donk and Revis are sitting on a bench in the downtown watching everything that's going on.
But that's not the Church of the Fire Tornado yet. That's not for a little bit.
Okay. So Allison wants to stop because she's like, we have to get them off the street. Like,
because they're both drunk.
Yeah.
And their truck's like parked like a block down or something, and they're sitting on a bench, and they're like,
so dumb.
They're like, it's like a zombie apocalypse out here. Grab a beer. So I think they stole beer. I think that's the implication, is they went in somewhere and just took beer.
Oh well, I didn't think about that, but probably.
But they see a tornado start to form on like one street, and then it stops and it forms on a different street. But
I do have to give them props for the graphics in this movie. They did a really good job with the tornadoes.
And they even do it in black and white. I say that because in the original Wizard of Oz movie, that's why they had to film it in black and white, was they could only do the tornado in black and white. They couldn't do it in color.
Yeah. I got that. I don't know if people out there.
Yeah, I know. I just thought I'd let people know that aren't quite as deep in the cinema universe.
Cool mom like you did, made you watch
So the one tornado forms, and they're kind of arguing like, oh, we need to get back into the, what is it called?
Titus.
The Titus. I keep wanting to say TARDIS because of Doctor Who, but they're
I have a question.
Peter?
Not to interrupt what you're saying, but if everybody could fit in the Titus, why did they not have everybody in the Titus?
I think because our meteorological equipment was on the van. And I don't know if it could have been on the outside of the Titus without interfering with stuff that was already there.
Okay, gotcha. That makes perfect sense.
Gotcha.
I wasn't thinking about all of her. I was thinking about just her laptop. So
well, because she's got all those screens, but then also like I noticed it, especially whenever it flipped later. There's like an antenna and all kinds of stuff on top.
Gotcha. That makes sense. Okay. Back to what you were saying. I'm sorry.
So the tornado forms. So Allison is arguing that they need to save these two guys because they're drunk, and I think Peter's kind of trying to be like, oh, just leave them. We need to get this shot. And about that time is when their truck gets picked up, and one of them is like, my pickup! Or something like that. And but anyway, they end up kind of corralling everyone into the bank, except for Allison, Peter, and Gary. And Allison is holding onto the door of the...
How did Gary get with them?
Titus.
How'd we skip that part?
Did we skip whenever they're... No, his car crashes here. Remember? He's also in the city center. They kind of all meet up at the same time.
There you go.
His car... There's like a tornado...
So, hang on. Before that, we need to go back to Donnie and Caitlin.
Yes.
So they are in the paper mill when a tornado hits the paper mill, and it knocks the roof down on them, and then it busts a water pipe.
And they fall down into like a little alcove. I don't know what it would be for.
I'm not sure either.
But it's like indented a decent way into the ground.
Yeah, sometimes factories would have like vats and stuff in the ground. I don't know if a paper mill would. But then a water pipe above them bursts and it's filling up.
Yes. So they're basically on like a time crunch.
And so
here's another thing.
Finally tells Dad where Donnie is, and that's why Dad and Trey are in city centers, because they're going to get Donnie because nobody's phones are working.
And Trey actually suggests they take Maine because it's quicker.
Yeah.
Which is why they went this way. Well, they get too close to the tornado and his car gets out of control and he crashes it into another car and he says it's totaled. But it didn't flip or anything, and just the side of it hit that other car. I don't know if that would total your car. I mean, it could probably break the tires on that side. But it still doesn't seem like it hit hard enough to actually total it. Which, again, is kind of a nitpicky thing, but... Yeah. But anyway...
But people will say, like, my car's totaled if it's not drivable.
Yeah.
And it may not... In insurance terms, may not be totaled, so I don't know.
I'm not even meaning in insurance terms, though. I just mean, like... I think it would still be drivable, would it not?
I don't know.
Because it didn't seem like it hit that other car too hard.
I mean, if your car gets sucked up, like, twisted by a tornado, you're probably going to think it's done. So.
But it wasn't twisted. It just kind of swerved.
Well, that's what I mean. Like,
yeah.
I don't know.
I don't think it even left the ground, though. I think it just kind of swerved out of control.
I think so.
I don't know. I don't know enough about tornadoes or cars or anything.
Tornadoes and cars together.
So, anyway, that's how they all meet up. But, so... Allison is, like, holding on to the door of the Titus at, like, a 90-degree angle because the wind's so strong. So Gary goes over and is, like, grabbing her, which I don't know how him being there would make a difference. Like, wouldn't he just get struck by the tornado, too?
I don't know tornado math.
I don't either. Anyway, he ends up, like, kind of pulling her back inside while just about everyone else is in the bank. And so we kind of also get from the Hicklebilly's point of view, like, one of their cameras, we kind of see, like, Trey's reaction, right?
Yeah.
And he's kind of, like, up against the glass and, like, Dad!
Yeah.
But they end up all surviving. No one dies here.
Yeah.
And does the tornado just dissipate again? Or does it go through something? I think it knocks down like a building and then it kind of dissipates.
No, that was the one earlier.
Is this the one that goes to the school? Did we kind of skip around and...
Maybe, because I don't think Gary was at the school. No, they were because Trey was there because he was filming the tornado. So I think we're right so far.
Okay.
I think this one might just... Actually,
it does knock down a building. I remember that.
I think this might be the one that traps... This might be the same one that traps...
The paper mill, yeah.
So it goes through the center of town and then goes out to the paper mill before it dissipates. Sorry, guys, it's late. It's getting late and we're tired, so...
And if you want to see the movie in order, go watch the movie.
Right. And
we tend to kind of ramble sometimes.
Not to, like, make light of tornadoes, but there's a lot of tornadoes in this movie, so if we don't remember which one damaged what, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I mean, the fire tornado stands out in my mind because that was different.
Well, and, like, the mega.
Yeah.
Which is something that can actually happen.
Yeah.
But,
can you imagine? Like, that would be so scary. Like, I can't. Anyway. We'll get to the mega tornado.
But, so they end up loading up some of them into the Titus and some of them into, like, the van. But I don't think we really see what the Hicklebillys do here, do we? Yet?
They stay behind, I think.
Okay.
Do they?
Because they're not with them, I don't think.
Yeah, they stay behind because the next time we see them, they're on... Maybe they drop them off somewhere. Because the next time we see them, they're on their four-wheeler.
Do you want to talk about that part?
Are we ready to talk about that part?
It doesn't matter. We're already out of order.
So they're on their four-wheeler chasing the tornado. And they get sucked up into the tornado. And that's it for... I think that's it for Revis and...
Yeah, and I was kind of sad.
Well, actually, Donk gets sucked up in the tornado.
And I don't think
Revis did yet.
I think we see his camera get sucked up and kind of thrown to the ground.
Yeah. I think so.
But it kind of cuts out, so we don't really see what happened to them.
Yeah.
But back to, like, the storm chasers. Allison wants to go with Gary to save his son because she has a daughter and stuff, and he saved her life. So they're taking the van to go do that. While I think they're all going over there because Trey rides with the other guy, and this is the scene where he's like, "Oh, I'll pay you $3,000 for your tape."
Yeah, keep your camera rolling. I'll pay you $3,000.
Yeah. And here also is the point
and they
where...
do take the van because the dad is in the van and he's telling Trey absolutely not. And they're like, well, the Titus is the safest place.
Yeah. And that's when they say that it's like a tank.
Yeah.
But this is also the part where, not Paul, but the other cameraman, Jacob is kind of getting cold feet about it. Yeah.
And I think that, so I got the impression he's like a college-age kid.
Yeah.
And so Peter's just a total jerk to him. Like...
I did not think he was that much of a jerk when he gives him that kind of pep talk. When he's like, "Oh, I know I yell at you a lot."
Well, before that, he tells, what's the other cameraman's name?
Paul.
His friend, Paul. He tells Paul that he's going to fire, basically he's going to fire him. He's like, give your camera to somebody else or you're done.
Does he say that?
Yeah.
I don't remember that.
Yeah.
Anyway.
And so Paul convinces him not to fire Jacob.
Yeah. So, here's where we get the church scene and stuff. If you want to talk about it.
So they have not gotten to Caitlin and Donnie yet.
No, it's on the way there.
So we start seeing, I don't know if there's like 5 tornadoes that form.
4 at the very least. Because Trey is in the top part we talked about earlier that can go 360,
Yeah.
and he counts them, and he counts 4.
Okay.
So there may be more that form later, but right now there's 4.
Okay. So we have, so back it up to what we just said, but so Jacob wants to quit, and Peter's kind of a jerk about it. And
But then he kind of gives him a pep talk in the car.
Paul convinces Peter not to let him go, and then Peter gives Jacob a pep talk in the car. And so the van gets flipped.
Because there's a tornado, like, right behind them.
Yes, and the van gets flipped, and so they all run into this church.
Yes.
And as they're going into the church, Jacob is filming this tornado. And this was a pretty cool scene, because so before Jacob's filming it, we see the tornado hits a car lot.
Yes.
And one of the vehicles is a semi, and it's a tanker truck.
Yes. Which I don't think it was on the lot. I think it dragged it there, because I think we saw that on the road earlier.
I think so too. But we were on a car lot for a minute.
Yes.
And the tanker truck explodes.
I think the tanker truck was brought from the road onto the car lot.
Right.
Yeah.
And so the tanker truck explodes, and one of the tornadoes becomes a fire-nado.
Yes.
Is that what they call them?
Yeah.
Fire-nado.
Yep.
And so after this pep talk, Jacob's like, I gotta get this view, you know. So they're running to the church, and Jacob...
There's zoom for a reason.
Right. And Jacob loses his camera in the tornado, the fire-nado.
Yeah.
And he's like, I gotta get my camera back. And he ends up getting
sucked into
the tornado.
And this is probably like I don't know. I don't want to say scariest, but like the most... Not even impactful is not the word I'm looking for. But interesting? I think this was the most interesting, because you see him catch on fire as he starts to go up the tornado. Did you notice that? Like, his clothes and stuff catch on fire? I thought that was kind of, like, cool, like, that attention to detail. Yeah. Not that, like, this character dying was cool, because this character, like, it's sad.
He's probably one of my favorite characters in the movie. I liked him.
Yeah. But just, like, it's... the detail that they put into it is really cool.
Yeah. And, I mean... it's not Twister, and so for a lower budget, like...
And I don't know what the budget was,
I think I said 120 earlier. I don't remember. 120 million. But for a lower budget tornado movie, it had really good graphics, and because even like the fire tornado, like you see it start at the bottom of the tornado, and as it twists, it goes up like one twist at a time, and it was just very visually stunning.
And I think the actors in this movie did a very good job.
I do too.
Better than Geostorm.
Which I do have to say, I'm surprised, because I hated Lori in Walking Dead. I hated her.
I haven't really seen enough Walking Dead to say much.
Well, apparently it wasn't the actress I didn't like, or her acting. It was just that character. Yeah. So then we go into the church.
I don't think that's an unpopular opinion. I will say that. I
cannot stand that character. Oof. Anyway, so then we go into the church, and
the tornado doesn't hit it.
No.
But a branch does come through the window.
Yeah. And so, but we see Peter, and he's looking at the camera, one of the cameras. And Allison's like, is that all you care about? Jacob just died for you. And he's like, well, what? Do you want me to say it's my fault? And Paul's like, no, it's my fault. I'm the reason he was here. And so, to me, that was kind of gut-wrenching, because, you know, one of your good friends, and then you feel like it's your fault that something bad happened to him.
Well, and I thought it's such a good juxtaposition, that scene, because Gary is in the church, and the first thing he does is yell out for his son to make sure his son's okay.
Yeah.
He yells out for Trey. And Trey's like, I'm fine, Dad, I'm still here. And then that's whenever we get this scene with Paul.
Yeah.
Or with Peter, I mean.
Peter. Yeah.
Is that his name?
Peter, yeah.
Peter and Paul.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Gary's the dad.
Yes.
Okay. Sorry, guys. We're going to get this right one of these days.
I'm so bad with names. I don't think I'm ever going to get it right.
I'm going to have to do like a whiteboard from now on. Peter is the jerk guy. Gary is dad. So anyway, Allison's like, we have to go get his son. Like, so somewhere in here,
there's a winch.
Call goes through.
Yes.
From Donnie calling his dad.
It's not a call, it's a voicemail.
Okay.
But yeah, it's same thing, but I just wanted to clarify that they're not talking face to face. It's just a voicemail.
It's basically Donnie begging for help. Like, we're trapped. There's water coming in.
Yes.
You know.
The whole situation.
Yeah.
So they need to get there. They're basically like on a time crunch.
Yeah.
And so they use the winch on the Titus to pull the van out of the ditch. And
but Peter's still like, I have to chase the tornadoes.
Yeah.
Even though your son might die, I have to fix the tornado.
Yeah. So Paul still goes with. No, Paul goes. Does Paul go with him? I think Paul goes with him. Here.
I think so.
Because I think Gary is driving the van. It might be Allison.
I think Gary's driving because he knows the way.
Yeah.
I think Gary's driving.
Yeah. So we've got Paul.
No. Maybe Allison's driving.
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
We've got Paul and Peter in the Titus, and in the van we've got.
Trey, Allison, and Gary.
Yes, thank you. I could not remember Trey's name. I don't know why I have such trouble with his name.
What happened to the original van driver?
Paul was the original van driver, but when Jacob died, Paul got in the car with Titus. In the Titus.
There was the van driver, and then there was the black kid.
The black kid was driving the van.
Well, then who was the other guy? I swear there's another guy on their team.
I don't think so. I could be wrong though. But they start heading towards the paper mill, and by the time they get there,
okay, never mind.
Daryl.
Who's Daryl?
I don't know. They hear.
Daryl's. It's not Paul. It's Daryl.
There's no Paul?
There's no Paul.
Where'd you get Paul?
Did I say Paul?
Yeah.
Gary, Allison, Pete, Donnie, Trey, Caitlin, Daryl, Jacob, Lucas, Donk, and Revis.
So it's Daryl?
I never said Paul.
Okay.
Maybe I did say Paul, but if I did, I didn't mean to. So Daryl is the other camera.
Maybe I said Paul. I don't know. Paul is Daryl, guys. I'm sorry.
Oh, we're not re-recording all that.
No. So anyway, I think Daryl is with him at this point. Is with Peter in the Titus.
Yeah.
I remember the names. But they're driving to the van is driving to the paper mill, and when they get there, they hear Caitlin.
Well, before they get there, as they're on their way, we flash back to Donnie and Caitlin, and they're using his camcorder and they're recording messages to their families.
Yeah, like last messages.
You want to talk about something that'll almost make you cry as a mama, like, that was...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and I did want to mention, I said the thing about, like, in movies like this, a lot of times it's hard to justify why are they still recording. Well, another thing about when they're in the water and stuff is he's using the light from the camera so they can see down there, and I don't know how it works, but maybe the camera has to be on for the light. So, like, that's a reason it would still need to be recording.
Yeah. I don't know. But their last message is just heartbreaking. So, anyway.
Because he talks about his dad, and he's...
and he talks about his mom, too.
Yeah, Donnie talks about his dad and mom, and he's like, I'm sorry, Dad, for blaming you when she left.
Yeah.
And stuff.
Oh, well, I guess not on the message.
Wait, no, he says... He was mad at his mom, and he feels like the last time he talked to her, it was kind of a fight, and so he kind of blames himself for not having resolved that.
I don't think he talks about that on the recording. I think he talks to Caitlin about that. Because she asks him if he remembers the last words he ever said to his mom.
Okay.
And it was, they had went for a weekend and they got into it about something.
Yeah.
So anyway, the message that they leave for their parents and their families is just...
Yeah.
Whew. And I mean, it's like water up to their chins when they're finishing
they're like swimming.
Yeah.
But they get there, they hear her yelling. So I missed what happened here. I don't know how, but I missed what happens here. Do they ram the van into the T-beam to get it, or the I-beam to get it moved? Because they try to lift it and they can't. But then something happens, the van's there, and then they get her out. I didn't
see that.
I think Allison goes and drives the van and rams into the T-beam to move it out of the way.
I did not see that either, so I'm not sure.
But all of a sudden the van's there, and I think I was doing something whenever this happened, like on my phone or something. So I don't know. I really was not on my phone much. I know, but I really was not on my phone this movie because it like grabbed my attention. But someone had texted me, and I was. It was family, and you know what's going on right now, so.
Like, how Caitlin got out. Like, I was just... So I didn't see them get Caitlin out, and I didn't see Caitlin at all. And then I saw them pull Donnie out, and he's not breathing. And I'm like, why is nobody saving Caitlin?
They
And then
pull.
all of a sudden
Yeah,
she's
Caitlin
sitting
kind of.
with Allison.
Caitlin kind of like grabs them and they help pull her out and stuff. Like she's still conscious.
Yeah. But I didn't see that.
Yeah.
I don't know why I
Yeah.
didn't. Probably something like you said, like somebody texted me. But
Yeah.
yeah, I was just like, what? Where's Caitlin? Like, did we forget that Caitlin was down there with him? Like.
But yeah, so Trey's foot is caught in something. Which, how did that even happen?
Trey's foot.
Not Trey. Donnie. Donnie's foot is caught in something. How did that even happen?
My guess would be because the water filled up and there was stuff floating. Like, it could have got caught. I don't know.
I thought that was kind of dumb that it just happened out of nowhere. That's like one of the few plot holes that I found in this movie. I'm sure there's other plot holes, but this, like, suspension of disbelief, like we talked about last episode, this one earned it, I feel like, a lot of the time. But so Gary ends up going to the water to save him, and then gives him like mouth to mouth and stuff, and brings him back. And then what happens from here? They go to the school because the tornado's heading that way.
Yeah. I think. And they're trying to get everybody out of the school, and this is when the principal's like, no, we're not leaving.
But they end up convincing him, so they're all leaving on like school buses. Yeah. And the van is right in front of the school buses, but behind the cars. Because some people took their cars.
Yeah.
And
one of the school buses gets knocked over by a tornado.
Here?
Yeah.
I don't
remember the last school bus, like, it just kind of clips the back of the bus.
Well, because the cars in the front get taken out, and like a tree falls in the road. No, a power line falls in the road.
Yeah, it's a power line.
So they have to turn and go back.
But this is when the bus gets clipped because they go down in that storm drain.
Okay.
And they take the people from the bus.
Yeah. And so they're at like a construction site, which was foreshadowed earlier in the movie because one of the guys they interview is one of the construction workers. Did you notice that?
Yeah. I didn't catch the foreshadowing, but yeah.
But anyway, so they're like in this like pipe, but like I don't know.
It's it's like a culvert pipe, so it'd be like for rain runoff.
That's what I thought, but if that's the case, it's raining so hard, why is there not water in it?
Maybe because it's a construction site and it's not done yet?
I don't know.
So
but it's open on both ends, though.
It's this big concrete
hole.
Tube.
Yeah.
Not really tube. I mean, it wouldn't be a tube, but pretty much like this long concrete tube with kind of, it's not really mesh.
A grate.
Like, a grate over the end of it.
It's like a very like open grate.
Yeah.
Like
it's
probably
metal,
probably like 5-inch squares.
And remember, we said the Titus could withstand
170 miles per hour. So all the tornadoes are coming together into a mega tornado.
Yeah. With, I think they say 360 mile an hour winds.
Yeah. So one end of the tunnel gets plugged up by a semi. And I don't know if we see that happen or if it's just like that.
No, we see it.
Okay, because I did not catch that either. I don't know what was going on at this point. Like, why I was...
Probably drama. In our family, it's hard to tell.
Well, I'll tell you what the person who was texting me about whenever we're done with the podcast, but it was involving something that happened recently that you know about. But yeah, so that happens. So then the grate starts to get torn away by the wind, and the way they got in is there's like a sewer grate on top.
Yeah, like a sewer
manhole cover.
There you go.
And so they got down here, and then they pulled that back on top. Well, the grate starts to give on the side that doesn't have the semi until Peter shows up. Or was he already there?
He was there. He goes up out of the...
Yeah, he leaves and gets the Titus and, like, basically rams it into the grate.
Yeah.
And then they take the winch and attach it to the semi.
So we end up seeing, like, Peter does have some good qualities, I guess.
Yeah. And then as stuff is happening, like, I don't remember if this happens before or after, but like at one point the manhole cover gets sucked away, so one guy almost gets sucked out.
Yeah.
I don't think it's Gary though. I think it's just a random guy.
No, it's Gary.
It is Gary.
It's Gary, yeah.
But eventually, they
they
last through the first half of the storm.
I know you mentioned this, but the winch is connected to the semi at the other end of the thing.
Yeah.
And the Titus, the arms can't hold it in place, so basically he's being held in place by the winch.
Is it because it's concrete there?
No, I think it's because the winds are so high.
Because I thought maybe it was because of the concrete there.
No, it's mud.
I thought it was
I
concrete.
think it's mud.
Then there must just be concrete walls.
Yeah,
But
there
I
is.
thought the ground was concrete, and
But
that's why it wouldn't stick.
He even says at one point, like
I knew he said that.
it's sliding,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
it won't stick. And I think it was because it was muddy, but I also think it was because the wind was so.
Yeah.
I mean, you're talking 2 times the wind it was supposed to withstand. So.
But they
Which
get
this
through
was
the.
kind of a cool shot because the Titus. I mean, and we're talking
It's like pulling
a
up, yeah.
tank-looking vehicle is just kind of swinging.
Yeah.
So it's kind of a cool shot.
And they get through the first half of the storm, and they're in the eye of the storm. And the eye of the storm is probably like a mile long.
Do you know anything about mega tornadoes?
No, not really.
I'm just like, and I don't know if this is movie magic or if this is real, but it moves so slow. Like most tornadoes are, and maybe it only looked like it moved slow because it was so big, but you know, tornadoes are usually pretty quick. And I felt like this one, and like I said, maybe it was because it was a mega, but I just felt like maybe it was.
I don't know about mega tornadoes, but I have heard stories of people that survive tornadoes, like in shelters and stuff, that you hear like the deafening wind and it's so loud it sounds like a train's coming, and then you get quiet.
Yeah.
And then when the second half hits, it's even louder.
Yeah.
Like I've heard stories like that, but I don't know.
Yeah, I just didn't know if it was like if they go slow, I don't ever want to know in person. Like.
Yeah.
No, but.
Well, they say if you see a tornado and it doesn't look like it's moving towards you.
Well, I see, and that's what I don't know. Like, is it so? Maybe it is moving slow.
I don't know.
I don't know. But anyway,
I mean, it's fast enough to catch cars and stuff.
Right.
But I don't know how close it actually has to be before the wind like starts buffeting.
And I mean, when we say a big tornado, this is like freaking huge.
Yeah. Well, like the eye itself, I think is like a mile long. It's pretty far. It might be bigger than that. I don't know.
So, like you said, they get through the first half, and
the second half will have stronger winds.
Peter and Allison are talking on the walkie-talkies, and she's like, "Is it over?" And he says, "No, we're in the eye."
Are they on the walkie-talkies?
Mm-hmm. Or headsets or something.
Okay.
They're talking to each other.
Yeah, but they're both in there.
No, they're not. Peter's in the Titus.
Oh,
Allison's in the tunnel.
I was thinking of Gary. Sorry. So when the second half starts, the Titus gets picked up and the bumper gets ripped off. Mm-hmm. Because I was like, well, if that got ripped away, why is the grate not coming off? But it's because the bumper is still winched to the semi and holding it in place. Because even some people slam into it and it starts to give again. Yeah. I think 2 people slam into it.
And one thing I did see that was an error in this movie is, I guess, once you go through the eye of a tornado, which I don't understand this, but once you go through the eye of a tornado, the winds actually blow the opposite way. And they didn't do that in this movie. Which I don't understand that, because if it's a circle...
Well, because if you're on this side, the wind would be blowing like this, but if you're on this side, it's blowing like that. Like it's a circle.
Right.
So, like over here, the wind is blowing to the left, but then when you come around the circle, it's blowing to the right.
Okay, that makes sense. So yeah, that was an error I saw, like, for, realistically.
Yeah.
But...
So anyway, the Titus gets picked up, and he finally gets to see... Well, I mean, like, he saw the eye of the tornado, but it launches Peter, like, up in the air, and he, like, sees above the clouds for a minute, and then it comes down.
And I have a question about that, though, because, like, I know people can be in airplanes, but airplanes have, like, cabin pressure and all that. Wouldn't he have, like, not survived being up that high?
I don't know.
I mean, I know, obviously, he didn't survive because he's in a tornado, but...
I don't know.
Okay.
I also don't think that glass would have lasted as long as it did.
See, that's what I don't know either.
I could trust, like, the metal, but I don't think... even if it's, like, plexiglass or whatever, I don't know if I would... Yeah. I don't know, they make, like, bulletproof glass and stuff, though. I don't know.
Back to life at the end, like, to not have... Because he was in Titus, I just expected...
Well, we can talk about more like that whenever we get to a part later.
Yeah. So, the tornado gets past... And one thing we didn't talk about, I want to back up for just a minute. So there is a part where they're looking at all these...
Yes.
Never mind. Wrong movie. Never mind. Wrong movie. But there is a part in here that is an homage to Twister.
We're a cow statue.
It's it's when the tornado, when they're in the center of town, you can see a black and white cow statue get blown up in the tornado.
I was expecting the hillbilly boys to drive through a cornfield. Did you know for Twister they actually planted all that corn?
Yes, I actually
And
did.
then they sold it to local farmers?
I did. I saw that. Yeah. Anyway, so then we see kind of the devastation. The tornado goes away, and we see the devastation of this. And
Yeah.
Gary and the boys go home, and they see the old man neighbor that they talked to before.
Yeah.
They see his dog, and they end up. He was in his car, and
Because he was trying to drive away because he was trying to get to a storm shelter.
Yeah, and so they get him out of the car.
And he seems okay mostly.
Yeah.
Like I think he's got some blood on his head, but otherwise he seems.
See, like, so we didn't talk about this, but when they're doing the time capsule video at the beginning, they interview some kids in the school, and one guy's just kind of a pompous.
Yeah.
Kind of, you know.
You're gonna be the NBA with a beautiful cheerleader wife, and
yeah.
Why are you watching this? Go bang your wife.
Yeah,
like,
and then at the end of it, we see him again, and he completely changes his tune.
And he's like, you just got to take it one day at a time.
Yeah. So.
And that's what I mean. Like, this movie has some character development that feels earned, even without fully seeing their stories.
Yeah, and then and again, it's like, you know, it's small town. You know everybody. Like,
yeah.
I feel like I could see, not that I want ever for there to be tornadoes around here, but like I could see one of your friends you graduated high school with being that person.
Yeah.
Not necessarily one of your friends because you weren't friends with the guys that were like that, but like.
I don't really think I had guys like that in my grade, to be honest, because my grade was small. It was one of the smallest grades in our town, and so everyone kind of knew each other. There wasn't a whole lot of drama with my grade, and even like the vice principal at the high school when we graduated talked about that.
Yeah.
Because he was a teacher for us in junior high and kind of followed us into high school when he became the vice principal.
Okay, so like your older sister or your younger sister, I could see some of the boys in their grade, like just local people that we know. Like I could plug them into these roles in this movie.
Yeah.
So I really like this one.
Me too. It's funny because we picked apart Geostorm so much, and this movie we kind of had a few gripes with, but for the most part, this movie was better.
Oh wait.
Which kind of just shows you.
We didn't talk about my favorite part of the ending.
Okay.
So we got to go back to Donk and Revis, and we see Donk, and he's upside down in a tree.
And we're from Revis's camera.
And we're from Revis's camera. And Revis is in a tree, and Donk's like, "Hey, you're upside down," and Revis is like, "You are too." And that was. They're like, "We're gonna be YouTube famous." And that was the end of their story.
Well, and
I would watch them on YouTube.
Doesn't it cut to credits after that?
I think so.
But yeah. So I will say I don't know. I think it would have made more sense if they were like in their truck when they got sucked up or something and survived. Because I don't know how realistic it is to actually be sucked up into a tornado and survive. Because there's no oxygen in a tornado. You can't breathe.
I mean, they were drunk. I mean, because Peter didn't survive.
Yeah, and he was in the tank.
Oh, and I guess that's really not the end, because then we see a little clip of Allison at home with her daughter.
Yeah.
And she's talking about how they made this movie as a memorial to Pete.
Yeah.
So, I really like this one. I can be honest, out of the two, because this is on, I think you said this is on a 2-disc set with Geostorm. This is the one I was like, this is not going to be a good movie. Like, I just did not.
And it was kind of the opposite.
It really was. And I don't know if I'd watch this one again. It's not like my funny, Tucker versus Dale. Or Tucker and Dale
versus Evil.
It's not like that. Like I'll watch that one every once in a while. I don't know if I would watch this one again, but
This is a good one to just kind of sit down and tune out for.
Yeah. And there's not... Like, Geostorm, I felt like it was a job to watch.
Yeah.
Because there is a difference between, like, even in books, like, there's a difference between a writer or a book or a movie where they let you fill in the gaps, or one where there's so many gaps that you're like, what, like, I can't even fill this in.
And it's moving. The thing is, I said they should have streamlined Geostorm when we talked about Geostorm. And I think one thing is, I also mentioned, like, well, certain scenes can be cut out. It's okay to have breathing room. But it's not, like, Geostorm didn't really have any breathing room per se. Even in, like, the down moments, there was crazy stuff happening. And so there's all this stuff shooting at you at 1,000,000 miles per hour all the time. So you have no time to, like, and for stuff.
Right. And they just, which we're not talking about Geostorm this one, but they just didn't do a good job of
Making the characters relatable.
well, not that, like making the story a cohesive story.
Yeah.
I mean, like Into the Storm made perfect sense.
Yes.
Perfect sense, but I mean,
Enough sense.
like you said, enough sense to suspend your belief that but so I would recommend this one. I'm not gonna say it's a 5-star movie.
I wouldn't say it's necessarily even a must watch, but if you're bored and you want something to throw on that you don't have to, that you can kind of veg out to, throw it on.
But make sure that you do that it's Into the Storm 2014 because there's a 2009 one called Into the Storm about Winston Churchill.
Oh.
And when I was looking up this movie, it said a lot of like streaming services and stuff will have this movie labeled wrong as the Winston Churchill one. So if you start it and it's not people in a tank talking about tornadoes, it's not the right one. But I wouldn't say highly recommend this one, but I recommend this one, like you said.
Lightly recommend.
Just for a... It's not
fun.
a thinking movie.
Yeah.
It's not. I mean, if you're playing a game on your phone or something and just want noise in the background, turn it on and watch it.
It was a lot more engaging than Geostorm.
It was. And the graphics were really good.
I
really do for...
Especially like the
budget,
fire tornado.
Yeah. And it's scary that those are real.
Yeah.
I mean, a tornado would be scary.
They don't really happen all that often anymore.
Did you know one just happened, though?
No.
I'm almost positive I saw that on Facebook.
But they are they were very prevalent in China. I think it was China. It was an Asian country. It may have been China. It may have been Japan. But they used to have these big open fires that they would cook stuff over, like just out and about. And so all the time they would have fire tornadoes that would just pick up the fire and...
I'm almost positive there was just one the other day.
I mean, I believe you. Well, anyway, I think that's it for this episode, unless you have anything else to add. Do you?
I don't think so. Next week, we are doing the book Ashfall.
Yes.
By...
Mike Mullen.
I have issues with that, because...
I keep wanting to say Mulligan.
That's what I was going to say. You remember that book when you were a kid that was like Mike Mulligan and his steam shovel? Something?
Yeah.
Steam engine or whatever.
I'm pretty sure it's Mike Mullen.
So check that
Mike
one out. If you don't have a copy of it, get it from your local library. And then next month is our serial killer series. Starting with 7.
Yes.
And I don't remember what else.
We're doing 7. Are we doing Donnie Darko or was that psychological?
I don't remember. I'll have to look at our list.
We'll tell you later.
Next 2 weeks are Ashfall and 7. So we will see you next week.
Have a great day.